Mark 13:32 reveals that Jesus Christ did not know when the rapture would occur. Therefore, we actually have some knowledge that Jesus Christ did not have in the 1st century AD. Back in the 1st century, Jesus Christ could not have said that the rapture would not occur at any time from the 1st century AD to the 20th century AD. However, we can say that the rapture did not occur during that time span. Listen to what Jesus Christ said in Matthew 24:44. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. Some people claim that Matthew 24:44 proves that the rapture will be a pre-trib rapture. Those people are leading you to believe that Matthew 24:44 deals exclusively with the rapture and the people who will live to see the rapture. There are certain teachers who claim that Matthew 24:44 is exclusively about the rapture and the people who will live to see the rapture. And those teachers also claim that Matthew 24:44 is not about the people who lived and died hundreds of years ago, including the apostles and the other 1st century residents of Jerusalem. The apostles and countless other people lived and died hundreds of years before the rapture. And as we will see, Jesus Christ was teaching to those countless people. Certain teachers actually indicate that Jesus Christ was a false prophet because he did not return before the apostles and other 1st century contemporaries of Jesus Christ had passed away. You should ask yourself this question: do I teach or believe in a doctrine that implies that Jesus Christ was a false prophet? Also, ask yourself this question: would Jesus Christ try to warn people who would die long before the rapture? Due to the Mark 13:32 fact that Jesus Christ did not know when the rapture would occur, Jesus Christ had no choice but to effectively teach to people who would die before the rapture, and to also teach to people who will live to see the rapture. Matthew 24:44 includes a type of warning to people who died nearly 2,000 years before the rapture. Due to the Mark 13:32 fact that Jesus Christ did not know when the rapture would occur, Jesus Christ had no other choice but to use the Matthew 24:44 phrase, "The Son of Man cometh," as a phrase that, in part, was addressed to people who would die hundreds of years before the rapture. The Matthew 24:44 phrase, "The Son of Man cometh," does not pertain exclusively to the rapture. To the apostles and other 1st century contemporaries of Jesus Christ, the Matthew 24:44 phrase, "The Son of Man cometh," actually refers to the end of their time on earth. And if you claim that the Matthew 24:44 phrase, "The Son of Man cometh," was directed exclusively at the apostles and other 1st century contemporaries of Jesus Christ, and if you also claim that it was a phrase that refers exclusively to the rapture, then you are claiming that Jesus Christ was a false prophet who erroneously prophesied a first century rapture or a second century rapture. The rapture has not happened yet. Assuming that the rapture will occur a few years in our future, to us, the Matthew 24:44 phrase, "The Son of Man cometh," does refer to the rapture. It is important to thoroughly study Matthew 24:42 through 50. Matthew 24:44 is basically the same as Matthew 24:42. And carefully study Matthew 24:45 through 50. First of all, be aware that there is an if-then relationship in Matthew 24:48 through 50. Simply put, if the wicked servant in Matthew 24:48 continues being wicked, then the Lord of that wicked servant will return when the wicked servant least expects it. Matthew 24:48 through 50 does not indicate that Jesus Christ will expedite the rapture if evil people remain on planet Earth. Rather, Jesus Christ was teaching a lesson to all of us. Besides, evil people have been on earth ever since Jesus Christ spoke in Matthew 24:48 through 50. Therefore, if Jesus Christ indicated in Matthew 24:48 through 50 that he would expedite the rapture if evil people remained on planet Earth, then the rapture would have occurred nearly 2,000 years ago. There is an if-then doctrine in Matthew 24:48 through 50, and it must be understood in proper context. The Matthew 24:48 through 50 if-then doctrine is the same as the Revelation 3 verse 3 if-then doctrine. Revelation 3 verse 3, "If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee." First of all, compare Revelation 3:3 to Matthew 24:42 and Matthew 24:44. In Matthew 24:42, Jesus Christ said, "Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come." All Scripture must be understood in proper context, and you should understand that Matthew 24:42 actually had one context, a non-rapture context, for the apostles and other first century contemporaries of Jesus Christ, whereas Matthew 24:42 is probably a rapture context for us. It appears that the Post Trib Rapture could occur rather soon here. That having been said, we should consider Revelation 3 verse 3. We know from Revelation 3:1 that Revelation 3:1 through 5 was addressed to the church in Sardis. Therefore, we can see that the Revelation 3:3 phrase, "I will come upon thee," does not refer to the rapture. There is an if-then doctrine in Revelation 3:3, and that doctrine did not indicate that Jesus Christ would expedite the rapture if the church of Sardis did not strengthen the things which remain in the Revelation 3:2 context. See Revelation 3 verse 2. Disobedience does not expedite the rapture. We all have our own respective day of the Lord. For people who died before the rapture, their day of the Lord, their own personal second coming of sorts, was basically the day that they died, or perhaps the day that they really doomed themselves to hell. So we should be careful to not misinterpret the Revelation 3:3 if-then doctrine, and we should also be careful to not misinterpret the Matthew 24:48 through 50 if-then doctrine. And we should not conveniently use Matthew 24:42 or Matthew 24:44 to claim that the rapture will be a pre-trib rapture. And we need to be careful to not let divisions arise in the church. The old pre-trib rapture versus post-trib rapture debate should be put through the fire of Scripture, but we always need to keep our eyes on Jesus Christ. And we need to heed the warnings that Jesus Christ provided in Matthew 24:42 through 51. God bless you all. Jesus Christ is coming. May He find us encouraging each other.